What is YOLO? If you're a millennial or a member of Generation Z, then this acronym might sound familiar to you. It's been everywhere from memes to music to social media posts. But what does YOLO actually mean? You only live once. This phrase has become one of the defining mottos of our time, one that encourages us to live life to the fullest while we can. But there's more to it than meets the eye. So let's take a closer look at this famous slang term. What does YOLO mean? The letters YOLO stand for you only live once. And while we all know there's some truth to this statement, it's not the whole story. You see, in addition to simply being an affirmation of life's brevity, YOLO also encompasses a spirit of adventure, spontaneity, and a carefree approach to life. It's about seizing opportunities and taking chances, living on the edge and making the most of every moment. After all, we don't know how long we have, so why not go all in and enjoy the ride while we can? However, it's important to remember that YOLO isn't just about reckless abandon and living without any regard for consequences. Sure, it's okay to take risks and step out of your comfort zone from time to time, but ultimately, it's also about making the most of the opportunities that come your way and embracing life with a positive attitude. So next time you're feeling adventurous, be sure to keep the spirit of YOLO in mind. Where did the YOLO trend come from? Now that we know what YOLO means, it's time to explore its fascinating origins. The YOLO trend first appeared online in the early 2010s, gaining popularity on websites like Tumblr and Reddit. At the time, it was primarily used by teenagers and young adults as a way to express their excitement for new experiences and a carefree attitude towards life. It wasn't long before YOLO became a cultural phenomenon, appearing in TV shows, movies, and even mainstream media. One of the earliest recorded uses of YOLO in print can be found in a 2011 article from the New York Times titled, "Is YOLO the Dumbest Phrase of the Year?" In it, the authors explored the meaning and origins of the popular slang term, noting that it had already begun to make its way into everyday conversation. Since then, YOLO has only grown in popularity, becoming one of the most widely recognized acronyms of our time. So who coined the term YOLO? While the exact origins of YOLO are unknown, it's believed to have been coined by the rapper Drake on his hit song The Motto, featuring Lil Wayne. In the song, Drake raps, "YOLO, YOLO, YOLO, you only live once," which quickly became one of the most recognizable uses of the acronym. Following the release of The Motto, YOLO's popularity skyrocketed, appearing everywhere from social media posts to television shows. In fact, the phrase became so popular that it was even added to Urban Dictionary, solidifying its place in internet culture. Since then, YOLO has only grown in popularity, becoming one of the most widely recognized acronyms of our time. Some believe that YOLO was simply a catchy phrase that caught on, while others argue that it reflects a larger cultural shift towards living in the moment. Whatever the case may be, there's no denying that YOLO has become a cultural phenomenon in its own right. How is YOLO used in a sentence? Now that we know what YOLO means and where it came from, it's time to learn how to use it in a sentence. But before we do that, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed learning more about YOLO. Thanks for your support. Now back to the lesson. When it comes to using YOLO in a sentence, there are a few different ways to go about it. The most common is to simply say YOLO as an exclamation, much like saying cheers or here we go. This is often used to express excitement or anticipation for something new and adventurous. For example, if your friend asks if you want to go skydiving, you might respond with YOLO, let's do it. Another way to use YOLO in a sentence is to incorporate the full phrase, you only live once. For example, you could say, I'm going to quit my job and travel the world because you only live once. Or, I'm going to ask my crush out on a date because YOLO. This usage is a bit more formal and is often used to justify risky or impulsive behavior. Finally, you can also use YOLO as an adjective to describe something that is exciting, spontaneous, or carefree. For example, you might say, my YOLO weekend plans include going to a concert, dancing at a club, and watching the sunrise from a rooftop. No matter how you choose to use it, YOLO is a versatile slang term that can add a touch of excitement and spontaneity to your everyday language. Just be careful not to overuse it, or else you might sound like a broken record. When should you use YOLO? Now that we know how to use YOLO in a sentence, it's time to learn when it's appropriate to do so. Generally speaking, YOLO is best used in casual conversation with friends or family members. Using it with strangers or in professional settings is likely to cause confusion or annoyance, so it's best to save your YOLOs for those close to you. Additionally, YOLO is often used to express excitement or anticipation for something new and adventurous. So, it's typically best used in situations where you're about to do something bold or unexpected, like trying a new food or going to a concert. Using YOLO in these situations can help you and your friends bond over your shared sense of adventure and spontaneity. However, it's also important to be aware of your audience and the tone of the conversation. If your friend is hesitant or nervous about trying something new, using YOLO might not be the best choice. Instead, try to be supportive and understanding of their concerns. Ultimately, YOLO is a fun and lighthearted way to add some excitement to your conversations. Just be sure to use it wisely. What are some examples of YOLO sentences? Let's look at some examples of YOLO sentences in action. These will help us better understand how to use this slang term appropriately and effectively. I'm so glad I took the YOLO approach to life because now I have no regrets. In this sentence, YOLO is used as an adjective to describe the speaker's approach to life. It emphasizes their willingness to take risks and embrace new experiences, which ultimately led to a life free of regrets. You only live once, so why not treat yourself to that fancy dinner you've been eyeing? Here, the full phrase, "you only live once," is used to persuade someone to indulge in a luxurious experience. It suggests that life is too short to deprive oneself of pleasure and encourages the listener to seize the opportunity. Let's go to that concert even if it's not our cup of tea. YOLO. This sentence demonstrates how YOLO can be used to express a carefree attitude towards new experiences. Even if the listener doesn't enjoy the concert, the speaker seems to suggest that it's still worth going to, because life is short, and you never know what you might discover. Instead of worrying about the future, let's just YOLO and see what happens. In this example, YOLO is used as an adverb to encourage a spontaneous approach to life. The speaker doesn't want to plan everything out meticulously. They want to embrace the unknown and see where it takes them. These examples demonstrate how versatile the YOLO sentence is and how it can be used to express a variety of attitudes and perspectives. Whether you're looking to add some excitement to your own life or trying to convince a friend to try something new, YOLO might be just the thing you need. As we wrap up our discussion of YOLO, it's important to remember that while you only live once, the impact you can have on the world is immeasurable. With a positive attitude and a willingness to embrace new experiences, you can make the most of every moment and create a life that you're excited about. So go out there, take chances, and live life to the fullest. Who knows what amazing opportunities await you? If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one.